Anime Defenders has just dropped their Red 1 Christmas themed update, and it is one of, if not the worst received update that we've ever received to date. And that's saying something, you know, we're rivaling the 5.7 years update here in terms of how badly people disliked it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. So for any of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, Red 1 is a Christmas themed movie that's coming out in theaters pretty soon. I don't really want to talk about it too much here since I don't want to give them more advertising than they already have. But yeah, pretty big actors in there. Chris Evans, Dwayne Johnson, you guys know them, you've seen them. And they're in Anime Defenders now. You know, you can team up with them to take down the bad guys and save Santa Claus. And this collaboration was pretty unexpected, to say the least. You know, this is on the same level as when Uzi collabed with Baby Metal and Pink Tape. This is some crazy otherworldly collaboration that no one would have seen coming, and I for one don't think it's that bad. We'll divide this video into two things, the good and the bad, just so it doesn't seem like I'm blindly hating on the game, because there are some things that I think weren't too bad about the update, with a lot more things that weren't too good. So in the spirit of keeping things somewhat positive, let's start off with the good. So the update log, or this is the bulk of the update log, I have it up on the screen right now. We did get some pretty notable gameplay changes, such as new elements, elemental stages, and new skill trees, all of which I think are pretty good additions to the game. More elements means more strategization and build diversity within your team. Skill tree, once again, yada yada, strategization, customization, being able to really spec into different builds depending on what you're doing, what activity that you're doing in the game. I think that those are great changes, and I think those are welcome changes. No one's really complaining about that. That's about it for the good. Now I know you might look at the little time thing at the bottom of the screen, and you might see that we have a lot of time left. Well, I think there's a lot to discuss here, so I guess we'll get into the bad. Something I think is worth noting is the new Christmas themed raid. I think the map looks cool and the new unit is nice, but now we'll actually get into the bad. So why was this update so incredibly poorly received? Well, I can sum it up in just one word: ads. Well, I guess that's an abbreviation for one word, but you get what I'm trying to say. Advertisements are what really killed this update for most people, including myself. And the reason for that is just because when you start introducing advertisements that are integrated inside the gameplay of your game, it's a very slippery slope, because you can either, I don't know if there are any examples of games that do this well. I'll use Anime Vanguards as an example since that's the only one that comes to mind. They have ads in their game, but it's not intrusive. And it's not intrusive to the point where you can visibly and physically have to look at it every single time. AV has ads in their game. They have the little billboards where people can pay to put ads, and Roblox will in turn pay AV a set amount because they have that inside of their game. Anime Defenders has the same thing, but they take it one step further with integrated in-game ads, and I'll put that up on the screen. This screenshot basically epitomizes everything wrong with the update. If you don't know what that screenshot is, which I'm sure you do, but I'll explain it anyway, whenever you beat the new raid, you will have to sit through an ad for a set amount of time before you can go off and do whatever you want to do, go keep playing the game. Or maybe you saw the ad and you just immediately clicked that little X button on the top right corner of your screen and you just hopped off the game. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of issues in this game, right? Ads not being the biggest one. There's more underlying things, economy, bodying and ulting, power creep could be one of them, I guess, if you want to get into that. Visual aspects of the game, such as the models not looking close to the source material. There's a lot of gripes that people have with the game, and I don't know if we'll get into those or not. It really depends whether I'm feeling down to talk about it or not. I am feeling a lot better from my pneumonia. I still cough a lot, which is annoying, but my voice is pretty much back to full, like, normalcy. I can talk pretty fluidly now without having to cough in between my sentences, which is the main thing that I'm glad about, but I'm talking too much now. Back to what we were saying. I think introducing integrated in-game ads into your Roblox game is a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, you do get that extra money, which, you know, who doesn't love money? Money makes the world go round. But on the other hand, you are actively making the player experience worse. And there are some games that go about this in less intrusive ways than others. Now, the only example that comes to mind for me is Blade Ball. Blade Ball also has integrated in-game ads into their game. They have the exact same little billboard that Anime Defenders has, and their like use of in-game ads doesn't really seem as egregious, in my opinion, as the ones in Anime Defenders. Why? Because you can look at the ads, but you're not forced to look at them, right? They're right there, and you're gonna see them whether you like it or not, but you don't have to. You're not forced to look at them, whereas the case in Anime Defenders is once you beat the new raid, you know, you're shit out of luck. You're gonna have to look at that trailer whether you want to or not. And I really think that's where most players draw the line as to how much they can endure in terms of advertisements. And this new wave of in-game integrated ads is new. It's something that's been happening pretty recently, and I think it's a slippery slope. I think I already said that at the start of the video, but I just think that that is a very dangerous road to go down, because there are two sides to it. Obviously, I just gave you the two sides from a player perspective. It sucks having to sit through a 5-second unskippable ad whenever you're trying to play video games. But as a developer, it does give you an avenue of revenue which you didn't have access to before, which is much appreciated by people that make games and spend a lot of money investing time and money back into their games, and also have bills to pay. They want to eat. So yeah, there's two sides to it. But I'll be the first to tell you no one likes integrated in-game ads, and the fact that they're in Roblox isn't something that's celebrated by any normal player. I'm definitely not jumping out of my seat doing backflips and somersaults because I saw an ad on Roblox, right? I'm sure most people can agree with me that in-game integrated God, that's a tongue twister. In-game integrated ads aren't the most shining addition to Roblox. You know, that's almost as bad as when they try to add official e-dating into the game. It's like, what are we doing here? But I digress. Back to Anime Defenders. The reason that this update didn't do as hot as it could have, namely because of the ads, it's also because of the visual aspect of this game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anime Defenders doesn't really look like anime. Doesn't really look too close to the source material. And I'm pretty sure there are other videos where I've gone on to defend this, because I know that the models are just something that they don't really have the power to change. At least I thought that was the case. But with the arrival of Anime Vanguards and its immense popularity on the Roblox front page, the fact that it stayed afloat for so long while, you know, just blatantly infringing on the IP rights that Anime Defenders was extremely scared of infringing on, you know, it makes me think maybe there is a little bit of leeway for Roblox anime games, at least in the sense of Roblox anime tower defense games, because Anime Vanguards is chilling. You know, you don't see them doing any drastic changes to their models, and you can tell exactly what every single anime character is. I can point to any character in Anime Vanguards, and you're gonna be able to tell who it is in like a second, assuming you actually watch anime. But what I'm trying to say is that their models look close to the source material, and they didn't suffer any sort of legal troubles or, you know, lawsuits or anything bad of the sort. So that really gives me hope for Anime Defenders being able to revert their models back to how it was when the game first came out. Now, when the game first came out, I don't know if most of you were around for that, but the anime characters, you could actually sort of tell which anime they were from. You know, you looked at something like the Rift Sorcerer and you were like, damn, that is Gojo. You looked at the Pro Gamer and you could tell, okay, that's Sung Jin Woo. You looked at Prime Commander and he did have a semblance of looking like Garp. He actually looked like the character that he was supposed to be in. And that's really where I wish this game would go in terms of visual aspects. Because as it stands, most people are not on board with the whole original characters thing for Anime Defenders. You know, a lot of people call it OC Defenders. Why is it even called, why does it even called Anime Defenders if there are no anime characters. Anime is in the title, but I'm playing with a polar bear that slows down units. Like, you know, I can definitely see where those frustrations are coming from. And on the topic of frustrations, I get a lot of DMs like this. This is one of the ones that is more on the nicer side because the vast majority of them have pretty colorful language and some not so nice statements about me being alive. And here's the thing, right? I am more than happy to just let people get mad at me if they want to. I don't really care. It's Discord, it's the internet. And obviously, the anime tower defense community is a very heavily opinionated crowd. But when people start busting my balls over stuff that I didn't do, okay, now I'm starting to get a little miffed about it. It's like, come on, bro. Are we serious? For anyone that doesn't have insanely high critical thinking skills, I'll put it in very, very easy to understand terms for you. I did not plan this update. In fact, ever since the Double Evos update, I really haven't planned much of anything for the game, nor have I done much of anything for the game. Is that because I am sinking all of my time into stuff like AV or, God, furry tower defense, or, you know, I'm playing Destiny 2? Yes, that is exactly why you don't see me doing too much on Anime Defenders. You know, I had a YouTube comment a while ago. I spent time looking for it, but I couldn't, so they either edited the comment or it's just not there anymore. But the comment was somewhere along the lines of, Perry, do you even play Anime Defenders anymore? All I see on your channel when it's Anime Defenders are reactionary videos. You don't even actually go into the game anymore. What happened to unit review? What happened to you actually playing the game? And my answer to that is, like, do you know why you don't see me playing the game as much? It's because I'm not, right? If you look through my channel, you'll see that I'm not covering a whole lot of Anime Defenders because the viewership for it just isn't there anymore. Last time that I had good views on an Anime Defenders video was during the Double Evo update. But after that, it's just felt like a bit of a downhill slope. And I know I'm not the only content creator that's experienced that. My other CC buddies have also voiced their concerns about it, because it's very, very noticeable that the hype and viewership and amount of people that were logging onto YouTube to watch Anime Defenders videos, that has shrunk, and it's shrunk significantly. So significantly to the point where most people have just chosen to jump ship. A lot of old Anime Defenders content creators have basically switched to AV entirely because the popularity for the game just isn't anywhere near as high as it was on release, during its first few months of release, when it had all the hype, when it was the cool, new, fresh toy. That's when it was at its peak. And that's when you saw the most content creators for it. And now when it's, you know, down in the dumps, in a bit of a rough period, logically you're not going to see that many people covering the game, and you're not going to see me covering the game. Is it because I no longer enjoy the game? No, I still have fun playing Anime Defenders. I still like watching my units with Almighty and like insanely high damage traits just absolutely obliterate the enemies on the screen. But frankly, my time has been occupied by a lot of other things. You know, Anime Vanguards or other videos. God, furry tower defense. I've probably spent more time on that recently than I have on AD, which is pretty sad to think about, but it's the truth. I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2, you know, it's just, stuff eats up my time, and day by day, I find myself less and less on Anime Defenders, and can you blame me? I'm sure you can. Anyways, that was just a little spiel about a YouTube comment, but yeah, Adfenders is probably the title that I'm going to go with for this video. I think it's pretty fitting. Do I think this game is dead? No, I don't. A lot of people see a game fall from grace, fall from popularity that it once had, and they immediately assume that the game is dead. But barring the ults and botted accounts, this game still has a pretty tangible player base, and I don't see it completely dying off anytime soon. Do I think the game is dying? Now that is a term that I like more, because dying, you know, dying means that the game is waning in popularity. It's lessening. The momentum, it's going down. It's not completely dead, but it's dying. Do I think the game is dying? Absolutely. And this update did not do it any miracles or favors. The fact that it had in-game integrated ads, and there are still a lot of big overarching issues in the game that sooner or later are going to kill it. I just think that it's not an insane statement. You know, no one's going to debate me on my hot take that Anime Defenders is in a dying state. Do I think it's at a point of no return where it can never improve on its faults and it's just destined to keep dwindling in numbers until it eventually fizzles out forever? No. Like I said, I really do believe that if they did a visual overhaul of all of their units and they made it look closer to the source material, that would be a huge step in the right direction to actually bringing back some of its old player base. Albeit most of it has been temporarily, if not permanently, stolen by anime vanguards, go figure. But to the players that are still, you know, on there, I'm sure they would absolutely love to be able to recognize what units they're playing with. And maybe my suggestion will get implemented, maybe it won't. At the end of the day, that's really just down to the higher ups of that game. And before anyone comes in here and tells me, Perry, you're a planner, so go fuck yourself. This is all your fault. Why did you plan this? I hate you. Look, you know, you guys are giving me way too much credit than I actually deserve here. Like, I will plan the odd unit or two here or there, but I am not the one in charge of making executive decisions. You know, spoiler alert, Red 1 wasn't my idea. Who would have thought? Like I said before, I just haven't been on Anime Defenders as much, nor have I been that involved with the game as much. I still like the game. Like I said, I don't hate it. I'll always hold a little special place in my heart for it just because that's the game that started my channel. That's where I gained my initial notoriety from. If you can even call it notoriety, I'm a high schooler making Lego Roblox CD games. But I have fun, and I think that's what matters. Anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up for my Anime Defenders video. If you guys enjoyed, liked hearing me talk about the game, feel free to like, sub, comment, all that wonderful stuff. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the whole ad situation, although I can predict what most of them are going to be like, not very positive. So with all that being said, thank you for watching. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll catch you in the next one.